Good evening and a warm welcome. You're watching an India Today special investigation, the mysterious Mauritius link. We are tracking the AgustaWestland VVIP chopper scam relentlessly on India Today. One expose after another, setting the nation's news agenda. Tonight, we get you the one link that even the Enforcement Directorate and the Central Bureau of Investigation have so far not been able to land their hands on. This is a big India Today national exclusive.
Has the Agusta scam trail gone cold? Are those who masterminded this monumental scandal just shadows in the mist? Has India's hunt for the Choppergate godfathers simply fizzled out? Well, brace yourself, because nothing could be further from the truth. India's biggest arms scandal since Bofors just became white hot. And in a minute from now, India Today will bring you the single biggest expose in a scandal that has scarred the nation. India Today first revealed how these two Agusta agents had taunted India in their secret communications, saying it would take India 10 years to trace the Agusta kickbacks to a famous island in the Indian Ocean. We don't know about others, but it took India Today only a few hours to hunt down the most explosive angle in the scam. Seconds from now, you'll be in Mauritius, where India Today takes you deep inside the island's kickbacks factory, from where Agusta scam bribes were routed into India. You'll also meet a mysterious figure you've never seen before. A figure who has actually handled the Agusta kickbacks money, the big Mauritius connection in the international scam web. Brace yourself for revelations that lay bare the terrifyingly organized manner in which Choppergate bribes were channeled into your country. No speculation, no ambiguity. What you're about to watch is the first solid investigation into the AgustaWestland scam money trail.
If you listen to the telephone intercepts of the conversations between Gerosa and Hashke, they make fun of India's investigative agencies. They say that it will take these twits 10 years to find out that it all happened in Mauritius. If you listen to the exclusive India Today interview with Christian Michael, he speaks about Mauritius. He tells our editor, go to Mauritius, that's where the money is. So what really is the Mauritius angle? We went through the Enforcement Directorate's chart sheet. We spoke to Central Bureau of Investigating Officers who were looking very closely at this case, and we sent two of our colleagues, Harish Sharma from India Today's Special Investigation Team, and with him Atir Khan, to Port Louis in Mauritius. India Today travelled 5,818 kilometers for this story to meet the people who the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate have all this while been wanting to meet. Remember, so far, Mauritius has been very cold to India's approach. The letter-rogatories have not been acted on. So who are the men in Mauritius who funneled the money from Tunisia back into India? This is part one of this big India Today national exclusive.
The defense scam everybody's talking about. The biggest since Bofors. A 3,600 crore deal for 12 AgustaWestland VVIP helicopters mired in a fearsome kickback scandal.
I probably met him in the Gymkhana Club. I think I shook his hand.
From the Enforcement Directorate's charge sheet to phone intercepts between the Agusta middlemen to India's official letters to other countries, all of them explicitly state that the kickbacks were likely routed through an Indian Ocean island. Welcome to Mauritius. Home to the world's most beautiful beaches. But India today isn't on the island to holiday. What India Today's special investigation team has done is crack open a never-before-known connection to the Agusta scam. An explosive new angle that blows the investigation wide open. Meet Shakil Fakeermahamood, meticulously tracked down here in Mauritius by our undercover reporters. A man never seen before, only a name so far in an Indian charge sheet.
The trustee will invest in 2021 and say they are investing to India. No money going directly to India. Now,
This is the man who allegedly handled the flow of dirty money through Mauritius and into India, at the instructions of one of the main scam suspects, Delhi-based lawyer Gautam Khaitan. But who is this mysterious Mr. Fakeermahamood? He's privy to confidential emails from lawyer Gautam Khaitan. He has managed Khaitan's interstellar technologies in Mauritius by proxy and is privy to secret transactions in dollars and euros to unknown destinations. It gets even bigger. The man you're looking at is an individual that India's Enforcement Directorate, CBI and Italian investigators haven't been able to hunt down till now. Amazing, considering he likely holds all the keys to the crucial Agusta money trail.
the guy who negotiated to get the contract from the Italian company was paid consultancy fees for their work to be done obviously.
What you're about to hear is a startling piece of testimony on one of the key accused in the Agusta scam.
So you know Mr. Gautam Khaitan, the topmost lawyer?
Yes, everybody knows him in Mauritius. He was the advisor of Financial Services Commission.
Which?
The Financial Services Commission.
Oh.
He was negotiating on the tax treaty with India. Everybody, the government knows him very well here.
But Fakeermahamood was defensive on Khaitan.
If we take a case of Mr. Khaitan, he is a lawyer. Everybody is paid consultancy fees.
Yes.
The guy who negotiated to get the contract from the Italian company was paid consultancy fees for their work to be done obviously.
Yes.
This is how it happened. Now, what they will do afterwards, because there's a contract everywhere, everybody is assigned a responsibility. Now, if somebody has given money from a public servant like the Chagi, I think, or what is it? Chief.
SK Tyagi, Mr. SK Tyagi.
Air Force officer.
The Air Force officer. Now, if he has received money, we should know with whom he has received that money. That point is a bribe. But in an agreement, which was a deal, it was not something fictitious from A to Z. There was a contract, I can understand. There was a delivery. It is a commercial transaction.
More damning still, the mysterious Mauritian operative didn't rule out kickbacks.
Okay. So nothing will happen in this life.
No. In the process, there is good money and there is part maybe bribery, I can understand. But the good part is work done. There is work done.
Work done.
Yeah.
We don't know which part which is the bribery in the whole packet, because everybody is talking about AgustaWestland, but it is an actual contract.
Contract.
The contract is genuine back to government. Part of it may be bribe of it. Only part of it, not the whole picture.
Fakeermahamood then gets cautious when the questioning gets sharper.
According to media reports, Gautam Khaitan look like mastermind.
He can't be the mastermind.
He can't be.
He's a lawyer. How can he be a mastermind?
Sir, he's a lawyer. He can't be.
How can he be a mastermind? I don't know why. Of course, he's a easy prey. I can understand. But he doesn't negotiate.
He's like in the trap. He's like, in
No,
the...
the question is, did he negotiate the contract? He didn't negotiate the contract.
No, but sir, what they're saying is he got money.
He may got money. Of course he may got money. He's a lawyer. Let's say he advised all this person. The person will say, I will give you so much amount of money to. But did he give a bribe? This is a question to us.
Gautam Khaitan is currently out on bail and is being questioned extensively by the CBI for allegedly transferring kickbacks through a web of companies in Mauritius. You heard it from the man who handled the money itself, and he confirms what the Enforcement Directorate has suspected, that he moved money on Khaitan's behalf. What India Today's sting operation has done is catch his own associate, nailing him down along with his explicit network in this Indian Ocean nation, notorious as a money laundering hub.
Shakil and Gautam Khaitan have had very strong relations in the past, so it is but obvious that he's trying to deflect attention. What is important is that now that he's been tracked down, it's up to agencies to examine him and get to the bottom of the mystery. With Harish Sharma, Atir Khan in Mauritius for India Today.
What you've seen so far is just part one of this investigation. What I want to show you now is, to our mind, the most important revelation in the AgustaWestland VVIP chopper scam case. Remember, there have been names that have been thrown about, there have been companies that have been mentioned, but nobody so far has been able to give you a clear picture of what the money trail looks like, how it started off from AgustaWestland, how it ultimately ended up with the Tyagi brothers through Aerometrics, IDS, Chandigarh, and then Interstellar. I've got my colleague Shivaru, who's been looking at this very, very carefully. He's got something very interesting prepared for you. Shiv, explain to our viewers the AgustaWestland money trail. This, remember, is something that you're seeing for the first time right here on India Today.
This is, it's very difficult to underestimate just how explicit this is. We're calling this the first solid investigation of the Agusta scam because what you're about to see on the screen right now is the first official and authentic account of the actual money trail from start to finish. Nobody has ever been able to put such information together before. Here's the global map of where the money actually began and of course where it finally ended. As you well know, it began in the UK, where in 2010 India signed a 556 million euro deal with AgustaWestland for 12 VVIP helicopters. But that was only the beginning, because 70 million euros went straight to a person whose name you've become familiar with, Finmeccanica, the mother company of AgustaWestland. CEO at the time, a man named Giuseppe Orsi, received 12 million euros at the time. Two other figures whose names you've become very familiar with if you've been watching India Today's coverage are the two shadowy middlemen that AgustaWestland employed to swing the deal. That's Hashke and Gerosa. Currently in Switzerland, they were paid a staggering 28 million euros to actually swing the deal. So they had 28 million, but it didn't actually end there, because the third figure you've only seen here on India Today is, of course, Christian Michel, who got the highest figure, the highest fraction of that 70 million euros in 30 million euros that was paid to him. But pay attention very closely, because here's where it gets really, really interesting. Remember, in Switzerland, Gerosa and Hashke, the two middlemen, got 28 million euros. Well, they didn't keep all of that money, because they channeled a huge amount, a major part of that amount, 24.37 million euros, to two small secret companies based in the northern African nation of Tunisia. And here where it gets really crucial, and you've got to pay attention, because in Mauritius, the biggest role in the entire scam actually comes into play. Because in Mauritius, it's from Tunisia that money was transferred. The actual amount is unknown and is the matter of investigation right now. But from those two secret firms in Tunisia to two firms in Mauritius, IDS Mauritius and Interstellar Mauritius, millions of euros were transferred. So that's the nature of the story we're talking about right now. All that money coming in from Europe into that northern African nation and finally to the Indian Ocean country of Mauritius. And here's the end game as far as the kickbacks is concerned, and that's why we're calling this an exclusive, because this information has never been seen before. Click on India now, and here you get the final end game of the kickbacks. Take a look at this image very, very closely. It's never been seen before. All these millions of euros from Tunisia in three ways, and from Mauritius straight, in terms of an innocent looking foreign direct investment, straight on to India. So what you have basically is this map. If you take a look at this map, let it settle into your mind because it's never been seen before. This is the first complete 100% authentic account of what Indian investigating agencies are envisioning the scam trail and the money trail in the Agusta scam really as. And here's a look at how the investigative agencies have actually mapped it out, because this image gives you the official flowchart. This is the piece of paper that Rahul just showed you for the first time here on India Today, and it gives you the most authentic, 100% accurate sense of what the flow of money really looks like according to India's Enforcement Directorate and other agencies, starting with that deal and finally ending with these three entities, the Tyagi brothers who've denied involvement, Aeromatrix Delhi and IDS Chandigarh, the three entities that are currently the recipients or believed to be the recipients of all that money. And these are the entities that actually channeled all that money. So this, yeah.
Can we go back to that? Yeah. This is very, very crucial because this is what the scam ultimately comes down to. I want my camera person Yogendra to come in to allow you, our viewers, to see this flowchart, because this is being seen for the first time, which really explains 556 million euros is the total value of the AgustaWestland deal. Our investigative agencies believe that 70 million is the total bribe paid. Shiv, that comes to about 12.5%. So 12.5% of the total contract is the value of the bribe paid. 30 million goes to Kristen Mikkel. Now remember, where it goes beyond Kristen Mikkel, we haven't figured out yet, because Kristen Mikkel hasn't been interrogated by India's investigative agencies. What we do know is that 28 million euros went to Guido Hashke and to Carlo Gerosa. We know where that money went, but that's no thanks, Shiv, to our investigative agencies. That's mostly thanks to the court in Milan and the work that Italian investigators did. So this money that Guido Hashke and Carlo Gerosa got went to two companies, Gordon Services and IDS Tunisia. From Tunisia, it comes to Mauritius, Interstellar Mauritius. That's the person who you just saw on TV. He handled the money because that was sent in to him. From Interstellar Mauritius, it came to IDS Mauritius, and from IDS Mauritius, it comes into Aeromatrix India, and then ultimately to the Tyagi brothers. In one quick snapshot, this is the Augusta scam for you. What we want to do, thank you very much, Shiv, very interesting, those details there compiled by India Today. What we want to do now is get you part 3 of our investigation. This time we speak to Shakil Fakeermahamood about how trusts are set up, because remember, our investigators approached him and told him they had some money they wanted to send back into India. So we asked him, how did he go about helping people send their black money back into India? Now just sit back as the prime accused in this case, a man who's wanted in the ED, CBI chart sheets, is explaining how black money is sent back into India as foreign direct investment. This is our next part of this India Today national investigation.
This is no casual gate crash. This is India Today's special investigation team entering the very heart of the Agusta scam bribes and about to crack open the shadowy money laundering hub that made it possible right here in Mauritius. What India Today's undercover crew is about to show you for the first time on television is precisely how kickbacks were funneled back into India via Mauritius offshore. You met this man a moment ago, but listen closer now. He's about to spill the beans precisely on how he's one of hundreds of consultants equipped to transfer unaccounted wealth to India, cleverly disguised as foreign direct investment. Fakeermahamood is no fool. Named in India's enforcement charge sheet on the AgustaWestland scandal, he's a very cautious man. But India Today's undercover journalists get hold of him posing as real estate agents.
Actually, we are from India, and in Gurgaon we have real estate consultancy. Okay, and we are dealing into various clients, and one of our clients is into trust business. And the trust is in UK. Yes. Okay. So this is like the grandfather. The trust.
Where is the property?
In the UK.
In the UK, yes.
He's a tough nut to crack for walk-in clients, but the proposal is enticing. Involving assets worth 1,000 crore rupees through fictitious firms, now imagine if we were really arms dealers with kickbacks of the same amount to send back to India.
Well, if Shelley. Settler. And we have Trustee.
After a long chat, Fakeermahamood is beaten at his own game. Candidly, he offers advice, demonstrating the kickbacks professional that he is. His first piece of advice: apply for a permit to set up a shell company in Mauritius. That's the key to funneling kickbacks. In this case, it's called the Category 1 Global Business License.
They have other business also, sir. They can also do other business other than land. They can do in agriculture product.
Yes, of course. But the best suggestion will be about the trustee. You have to give me the trustee. I will know who's the trustee. The trustee form a company, a GBR1 company in Mauritius, and the GBR1 invest into India through an industry which is allowed. Allowed. So now there is no issues of tax because nobody has received any, has not received any income. It is purely the trust is extending itself.
Yes.
Through an investment because the asset has assets. We have to advantage HBR1 here.
That explains the Mauritian license to launder in detail. Hoarders of black money overseas obtain these Mauritian licenses to conduct business outside the nation. Once the shell company is formed, the Mauritian kickbacks factory blossoms, with hundreds of consultants suddenly available to work the scam. A brilliant, well-oiled nexus between local money hustlers and overseas law dodgers. The kickbacks money gets funneled to nations in various seemingly innocent ways. For India, it's the FDI route. Mauritius is a fertile market for operatives like Shakil Fakeermahamood, courtesy of local laws. Business comes to them in very steady streams, and that perhaps explains the reason why they work on a low-price, high-volume model. Billions of unaccounted dollars are channeled from this hideaway for as low a fee as $20,000 a year, all with ease and without a paisa in taxes. And that's how the Agusta scam money is likely to have entered India. With Harish Sharma and Atir Khan in Mauritius, this is India Today's special investigation team.
Harish Sharma and Atir Khan worked on this investigation for India Today. Atir is now joining me in India Today newsroom. How difficult, Atir, was it to get through to Shakil? Because when you tried the first time, he essentially didn't give you the time of day.
Well, that's right. When we called him the first time, when we called Administrator's office in Port Louis, we were told that Shakil is going to speak to us, and then he was online for a short while. But he was not really interested. He said that he doesn't really entertain walk-in clients. So we had to make that extra effort. And then we didn't give up. We waited. He said he'll call back. We waited the entire day. When he didn't call back, it was the next day that we went to his office at Hennessy Tower in Port Louis and approached him. And it was a good luck that when we reached at the front office, we were directed to Shakil himself. So that was the point of time we were really excited that we are going to speak to the person who's so crucial in the investigation.
Explain once again to our viewers the significance of Shakil and why the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI are so keen on speaking to him.
Well, Rahul, it's not just Christian Michel who's saying that the hub of the kickbacks from where it were routed is Mauritius. There are several leads which indicate that Mauritius was the place from where Carlos Gerosa, Heshke and Gautam Khaitan were running the entire affairs. You see, there are two different cells. One is the Christian Mikhail and the other one, which is of course very important, is the Heshke, Gerosa and Gautam Khaitan. So the entire, company, the shell companies were formed in Mauritius. There was Interstellar, a company called Interstellar. Then there was IDS Mauritius, which was doing all the operations. And Shakil was the guy who was taking instructions from Gautam Khaitan and his employees in Delhi and routing the funds. Some of the wires were sent to different countries in Europe, in Switzerland. And we need to know where those money was.
Absolutely. This is very, very significant because remember, the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI have on multiple occasions reached out to the government in Port Louis trying to speak to Shakil. So far, they haven't succeeded. He's the person who now is on camera accepting that the money was sent through him. But he says, what's my fault? This is what I do. I'm a facilitation person. That's what I do. I've not done anything wrong. Whether the money was for bribe or it was for genuine purposes is not something that I can answer. I'll get you more details on the special story filed by my colleagues Harish Sharma and Atir Khan, who were reporting from Mauritius. When we come back on the other side of a very quick break, I'll bring you part 4 of this big India Today special investigation.